Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Thursday said he was ready to wait for 6 more months beyond the initially agreed May deadline to take over as Prime Minister from Tun Dr Mahathir Mohamad, and that he had enough support in Parliament to do so.
You waited 20 years, extending a 6 months doesn't actually matter.
Dr Mahathir had promised to hand over the premiership to Anwar within 2 years of the general election result, but later said he would stay on until at least November to host the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC summit in November. The 94-year-old also said Anwar would have to secure parliamentary majority to become Prime Minister. Anwar expressed confidence that the coalition allies would stand behind him as they did for Dr Mahathir.
If there is a request to go back to Parliament, of course it can be done. But then the Pakatan Harapan has a majority right now. Number one. Number two, even those who are not in Pakatan Harapan, some would support the Prime Minister of the day. And I also have been given that assurance. They support Mahathir, he is the Prime Minister, and they will continue to support me when I assume the premiership.
The protracted feud between Dr Mahathir and Anwar, the country's two most charismatic politicians, has dominated Malaysian politics for decades. Anwar said he was ready to move on from the bitter past and that he would be willing to carve out space for Dr Mahathir to continue to contribute after he takes over as Prime Minister.
His presence in a way or another would certainly help boost their confidence and give some sort of semblance of stability and order. Although he would concede, he always tells me that, when you take over, of course, it's going to be your way. All right. But I see my way will be the Pakatan Harapan way. Okay. So there is no real drastic policy difference. There will be different emphasis, of course. You have to recognize that. But I would be, on a personal basis, would say that certainly welcome very much his presence and contribution in any way.
Anwar said he would, however, look to mend soured ties with India after Dr Mahathir's criticism of New Delhi's two recent policies led to a massive fall in palm oil trade between the countries. He also said one thing that will not change is Malaysia's demand for reparations from Goldman Sachs over its role in the multi-billion-dollar scandal at State Fund 1MDB. Anwar repeated Dr Mahathir's position that the US bank's initial settlement offer of over $1 billion was too small, but declined to say how much he felt was sufficient compensation.
But certainly the amount has to be substantial, because not only the loss in terms of dollars, but also the loss of reputation, investments, and the general perception that about Malaysia.
Goldman has said it is in discussions with authorities on a possible resolution of investigations relating to 1MDB.